I bet with Inside Out 2 and now this film being box office successes, Disney must be singing, "Finally, we're back to being a success." Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish to Use here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I'm going to be doing a review on Moana 2. So Moana 2 is the sequel to Moana, which is one of the most well-received Disney animated films, and is directed by David G. Derrick Jr., Jason Han, and Dana Ladux Miller, and it stars Lily Cravalho, Dwayne Johnson, and a bunch of other cast members. Timora Morrison, Rachel House, Alan Tudyk, etc. And so the film tells a story taking place many years after the events of the first film, where now Moana is being famous in the island for accomplishing her journey as a wayfinder, and now she has become the leader of the wayfinders. But then one day, Moana receives an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors. And now Moana must journey alongside a new crew, and also with Maui, to the forest seas of Oceania and into dangerous long lost waters to find their ancestors who are stuck in the ocean, and must bring them together. But their main goal is to actually face off against Nato, who creates a storm of clouds that strikes lightning to kill humans. So yeah, they must. Yeah, it is up to Maui to stop them, and also to Maui is like pretty much the only one who can get the crew to safety and help them succeed. So yeah, as for my quick thoughts on the first Moana movie back in 2016, yeah, I know that was probably the last Disney film that everybody loves. Well, I guess you could say Encanto to an extent, but honestly, yeah, Encanto is starting to get the Big Hero 6 treatment with their reviews now, yeah, where people used to absolutely crazily adore it at the time, but now no one seems to talk about it anymore. But Moana was the last film that truly got love. And after Moana, the Disney Revival Age films after Moana, they started to get divisive. Yeah, just when everybody loved and praised the Disney Revival era. Yeah, Ralph breaks in the internet, which I still think deserves all the hate it gets. That was where it brought the camel's back when it comes to these Disney Revival Age films. Just people just started to lose interest in this era. It started with Ralph Breaks the Internet, and then Frozen 2, which I think is the greatest movie ever made. I don't need to say why, you all know it. Yeah, Frozen 2 is also just as divisive as Ralph Breaks the Internet, and it even became the first Walt Disney Animations Disney Revival Age film to have a Rotten Tomatoes score of below 80%. And sure, yeah, we got Raya and the Last Dragon and Encanto with some positive reviews, but Raya is actually quite divisive. Raya and the Last Dragon has its hate base, and Encanto, like what I said earlier, Encanto kind of seems like it's forgotten, and people hate it. We're hating on the Oscars decision to have Encanto win Best Animated Feature. I feel like that's how people started to turn against Encanto. It's Big Hero 6 all over again. And then you got Strange World, which I still think is one of the most disappointing movies I have ever seen. And honestly, after Strange World, I am no longer looking forward to a male lead Walt Disney Animation Studios movie. Now, I'm not saying they could be bad, because Big Hero 6 was amazing. I still love Big Hero 6, but with Strange World and Ralph Breaks the Internet, yeah, I have concerns for the future of male-led Walt Disney Animation Studios films, and I'd rather Disney would stick to making female-led films. I mean, you can save your male leads for Pixar movies, you know. Um, we'll see. Maybe that male-led Disney movie could turn out to be good, but oh well. And yeah, but then you got so Wish after Strange World, which yeah, Wish is the most hated, the first Disney revival age film to get critically panned like so heavily. And it is considered to be like one of, if not the worst Disney film. Yeah, some even go as far as calling Wish worse than Chicken Little and Home on the Range. If you've seen my thoughts on Wish, you probably know that I adore Wish. I think Wish is the most underrated movie of all time, and you know all that stuff. And lately, when it comes to Disney movies, notice how there was actually a pattern with Disney masterpieces and not so masterful Disney films. Yeah, like for example, Rob breaks Moana's a masterpiece, and then you got Rob breaks Internet, which stinks. And then you got Frozen 2, which was the GOAT, and then you got Raya the Last Dragon, which to me was not perfect, but I still defend Raya. I think it does not deserve any of the unnecessary hate it's getting. And you got Encanto, which I still think is a masterpiece, although maybe I'm not as passionate towards it as I was back in 2022. And then you got Strange World, which was a major disappointment. And then you got Wish, which is just as peak as Frozen 2. And then with Moana 2, yeah, I mean, Moana 2 could have gone like that route, but Moana 2 looked like super promising. Like, it looked like it was, from the trailers, this film looked like it was going to, like, keep the momentum of Walt Disney Animation Studios. And yeah, this was actually my most anticipated movie for fall 2024. Well, technically, neck to neck with that, Lord of the Rings, War of Hero, and Wicked as among my most anticipated movies of fall 2024. And yeah, I never had any doubts for this one. Although, yeah, I mean, I will admit though, when Moana 2 was first announced, I was like, interesting. How are they gonna do this? But I believed in Disney, even if it was weird that a sequel to that I did not expect happened. I never doubted Disney on this one. I was already on board though with this film from the very beginning, and and it's kind of a shame that this movie people hate this movie. I mean, the first one, movie was an absolute classic. Sure, it is the inferior Walt Disney Animation Studios movie in 2016 to Zootopia, but but Moana is still a masterpiece, and it's kind of a shame that people were hating on this sequel. I was hoping that people would be surprised by how good this ended up being. Well, they did. Well, there was hype for it ongoing, but on its release, people were. This movie unfortunately got mixed reviews. This is the second lowest rated this year revival age from Rotten Tomatoes, right behind Wish, and lower rating in Strange World, believe it or not. I guess that the critics think that Ralph Breaks the Internet is the best Disney sequel ever made, even though it's not even close. I'd say one of the worst Disney sequels, in all honesty. And it was just really annoying. I was actually praying that people would love Moana 2, but I guess I guess that there were some red flags to this. Like, it was first announced in February of this year, and it was like it felt too late to announce it. And then you also got the reveal that this was actually supposed to be a Disney Plus series that they decided to make it into a movie. It was not a red flag for me, but I mean, I'll say that announcing it too late was a concern, but I don't have a problem with turning a Disney Plus Disney Plus series into a movie. I don't think it would actually affect the quality of the film. I'm sick of the Disney hate. I wish that people would love Disney again. Yeah, thankfully we got the Zootopia 2 coming next year. I think I'll just say this right off the bat. I am confident that Zootopia 2 will be better than this one. Zootopia 2 is my most anticipated movie of 2025. It will be the best movie of 2025. And I pray to God that Zootopia 2 will I pray Zootopia 2 will be critically acclaimed. I mean, it's freaking Zootopia, for crying out loud. And there is actually hype for a sequel. You people actually asked for a Zootopia sequel. They asked for it, like legit. But anyways, going into Moana 2, as for my personal thoughts on this film, I gotta say, Disney, you did not let me down one bit. Yeah, I think you all saw this coming. I'm sure you all, you people predicted that I was going to praise Moana 2, but here we are. Yeah, I absolutely love the Moana 2. Once again, another masterpiece from Disney that proves that they still have what it takes to make bangers like this one, and they will always have. And yeah, this is now my second favorite Disney sequel of all time, second only behind Frozen 2. And funny how like this one came out just 5 years after Frozen 2, which was the previous Disney sequel. Yeah. And it looks like Disney truly does get better with their sequels. These straight to DVD Disney sequels are way ahead, way past its time. Now it's time for this era of actual high quality Disney sequels. And speaking of which, people say that Moana 2 felt like one of those straight to DVD Disney sequels. I'm sorry, but no, it does not. You are wrong. This felt like a genuine sequel. It didn't feel like straight to DVD sequels. If you want to actually see a straight to DVD Disney sequel from the revival era that's for some whatever the fuck reason got released in theaters, well, I'd say Ralph Breaks the Internet felt like a straight to DVD sequel, but Moana 2 felt like a Frozen 2 like sequel. Okay, well, not as good as Frozen 2, but yeah, Frozen 2 and Moana 2 actually had a lot in common. They both had a lot in common. I'll explain why later, but yeah, I will say they both Frozen 2 and Moana 2 do have very similar story beats to it, and also they both have very similar critical reception. Yeah, there's also a lot of comparisons made between this and Frozen 2. A lot of critics are saying that this is again another Frozen 2. Some of them are for the bad, which and anyways, as far as 2024 movies go, this is the best animated film 2024. No, it did not beat Inside Out 2. Yeah, I guess Pixar beat the Walt Disney Animation Studios this year, but at least Pixar is still Disney. Like, I don't care what anyone else says, trying to pretend that that Disney has nothing to do with Pixar's successes. Inside Out 2 is a Disney movie. And yeah, but I knew that nothing was going to top Inside Out 2, because Inside Out 2 is not only the best anime film of the year, but the best movie of the year in general. And yeah, I would say that there are better films this year, like including live action films. Hell, even Wicked is better. Yeah, Wicked still remains the best movie of November 2024. And Cobra Kai season 6 part 2, still the best piece of media come out of this month. But Moana 2 is not far behind Wicked. It's certainly a guaranteed that it's going to make my top 10 best movies of 2024 list at the end of the year. And it is better than the first Moana. Now, I get where people are coming from with their criticism of the soundtrack. Yeah, I think the soundtrack is what I would like to discuss, to talk about first. Okay, yes, I mean, do I think that this is one of the greatest Disney soundtrack ever? Nah, not really. I mean, it's certainly not Frozen 2 levels at all, but the songs are pretty good for the most part. Comparing this movie's soundtrack to the first movie's soundtrack, I would say yes. I do feel Lin Manuel Miranda's absence because the music style is a lot different, but it's still great. I mean, just because Lin Manuel Miranda isn't writing the songs, that does not mean it's automatic. The soundtrack is automatically a failure. I think that is way too unfair to judge. But seriously, Lin Manuel Miranda, why would you choose Mufasa the Lion King? Seriously, if Mufasa gets better reviews than Moana 2, and also the Moana live action remake too, then humanity is doomed. But anyways, yeah. As for my thoughts on this film's songs, yeah, I don't think I wouldn't say it's better than the Moana one songs. If I were to rank every single song from the Moana duology, well, I would say it's Moana 2 does have the best Moana song, but also the weakest Moana song as well. But yeah, like diving deep into the Moana 2 songs, yeah. We're Back, which was the song I was singing earlier, and probably the most popular Moana 2 song. I will say this, yeah. We're Back is the better Moana 2 opener than opening song than Where You Are. Yeah, Where You Are is a good song. It's a great song. Don't get me wrong, but I think We're Back is better. The better version of Where You Are. And then you got Beyond, which I absolutely adore. Beyond. I think Beyond is an amazing song. Not only is Beyond my favorite song in its entire film, but also my favorite Moana duology song in general, and my favorite song of the year. Yes, Moana 2 will win something at the Frozen Awards at 2025, and I'm glad that I'm going to award this film for something. Yeah, Beyond is like, I think Beyond does feel like a Lin Manuel Miranda song. It's just as good, and I'm such a sucker for I Want songs. Like this song reminds me a lot of Into the Unknown and This Wish, and also How Far I'll Go. But I'd say better than How Far I'll Go, to be honest. Yeah, it's just so good. I mean, yeah, all Lily Kravhalo, she truly gave it her all singing this song. And yeah, and they even honor my personal favorite song from Moana 1. I am Moana. Sorry, I'm not sorry. I didn't want an auto tune. Yeah, I'm bad at singing that song. But yeah, when she said I am Moana, holy crap, that gave me chills. I love how Disney actually gave I Am Moana some recognition, because, yeah, I mean, no one talks about that I Am Moana song, Way of the Ancestors, in the first one. That not only is that the best song in Moana 1, but the best scene in Moana 1 as well. Yeah, and yeah, that song is just so good, and fingers crossed that Beyond, or at least any Moana 2 songs that gets nominated for best original song at the Oscars, even if at this point I feel like this movie is going to get snubbed at the Oscars, because yeah, I guess the Oscars are starting to turn their backs on Walt Disney Animation Studios after Frozen 2 and Wish have gotten unfairly snubbed. Plus, there are actually some bigger contenders for the best anime feature nominations, like Inside Out 2, The Wild Robot, which I do believe The Wild Robot will win. And by the way, guys, you all gonna hate me for saying this, but I prefer Inside Out 2 over The Wild Robot. I don't care what anyone else says. Hate me all you want, but yeah, Disney will always kick Dreamers' ass. Well, I guess except 2022 and 2011. But yeah, okay, where was I? Yeah, I guess you got those two films. Flow, Memoir of a Snail, wasn't Gromit, Venture's Most Foul, even though I'm gonna consider that 2025 film. Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard for Moana 2 to fit itself in. Heck, I don't even know if Lord of the Rings is gonna get nominated. But although I would love to see Lord of the Rings get nominated, I think that is a guarantee. But yes, I will get pissed and get outraged if Moana 2 gets snubbed for best anime feature. Yeah, so going back to the songs and like talking about the rest of the songs, yeah. What could be better than this? Yeah, I will say that is the weak link of the Moana songs. Yeah, that is. Now, it's a good song. It's a very catchy, fun, and upbeat, lighthearted song. But I do think that it does pale in comparison to the other Moana 2 songs. Yeah, I think that song is um it's just the weakest one, but it's still good. I just don't love this song. And then you got like you got Get Lost, yeah, like that, yeah. Get Lost, the villain song. Yeah, that song. I love how that song gave me vibes of this is the things I get from Wish. Yeah, remember that villain song? Yeah, Get Lost actually did. It's actually very similar to this is the things I get. The King Magnifico villain song. And I gotta say, yeah, this is one of my favorite songs in the movie. It's certainly a top three. Yeah, and then you got Can You Get Chihu? Now I was a little bit harsh on this song, I will admit, because if you saw my out of 10 reaction, I did say that Can I Get a Chihu? Maui song in this one is the weakest Moana song. I will admit that I was a bit too harsh on it. I think it is better than what could be better than this. Yeah, the only reason I put what could be better than this over Can I Get a Chihu is because you what could be better than this was sung by Moana herself, while Can I Get a Chihu is a Maui song. But yeah, now don't get me wrong. I will say this. It's No You're Welcome. Yeah, You're Welcome is still the superior Maui song, but Can I Get a Chihu is still like a lot of fun. Such a great song. And then this film even had a reprise of We Know the Way. Yeah, remember when in the Frozen duology, the first Frozen had Reindeers Are Better Than People, and then Frozen 2 had a Reindeers Are Better Than People reprise. Yeah, they did the same thing in this duology with the We Know the Way. And I gotta say, Moana 2 does it better. Yeah, I don't care what anyone else says. Moana 2's version is better. You know why? Because it's sung by Moana herself. I mean, We Know the Way being sung by the ancestors, these sailors. That is a cool, and I love that. But having Moana sing that song herself with her new crew, that is now that is what I now that is more epic, a more epic version of it. So yeah, not one of the greatest soundtracks ever put to a musical movie, but it's certainly undeserving of the hate. Yeah, the animation in this one, this is one of the most gorgeous animations I have ever seen. And even though Inside Out 2 is the better movie, I gotta admit, I actually prefer Moana 2's animation over Inside Out 2's animation. Yeah, Moana 2's animation is just beyond beautiful. The waters, yeah. Also, screw you, Shea Fritters, for calling the water cheap and lazy. The water animation, yeah. Kind of a shame that Shea Fritters, the most popular user in the Moana fandom, gave this a negative review. That's just a shame. Coming from Shea Fritters himself, but I guess he's unbiased. Yeah, but I do think Animat will certainly give this a positive review. I can see that happening. Yeah, but yeah, this movie proves why realistic CG animation is still the best animation style, even over the Spyverse animation style. Man, this movie's animation, it looks so real. It looks so realistic, especially Moana's character design. Yeah, she looks like a live action character. Yeah, Moana's design. Yeah, so honestly, Moana 2's Moana might be one of my crushes of the year. Like a top 5. Yeah, man, she is gorgeous as hell. Even I've always thought that Moana was gorgeous, even the first one. But this film, yeah, this takes gorgeous Moana to a whole new level. I can't believe some people say that Moana 2's animation is cheaper than the first film. I'm sorry, but it's freaking up great. How could anyone not like this animation? Well, at least they don't roast the shit out of the animation, just like in Wish. Seriously, I will never understand how anyone can think of Wish's animation is cheap and lazy. That is a crime right there. The story is without question better than the first one, as it has a much bigger and grander scale of adventure to it. The adventure itself is more interesting, yeah. Since while the first Moana movie is about like Moana restore um the Fiji's heart that was stolen by Maui, this one actually does scream adventure more because it's an adventure to search for a lost society, and that's why it's more interesting. And well, I wouldn't say Moana's crew is the best. Um, I actually still think that the crew does provide a charm to it. Like with Moni, with Lotto being very smart and clever, and Caleb being hilarious, like the probably one of the funniest characters in the movie, and Moni just actually being gay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I ship Maui and Moni. Moni, like he literally has a massive crush on Maui. That is something. Yeah, but where was I? Oh yeah, it's also filled with surprises as there are story elements that I did not see coming. Now I will get to spoilers and that. Yes, there will be spoilers in this review, but don't worry, I'm gonna get all the non spoilery things out of the way first. Moana was such a more well developed character than in the first, as you'd feel her growth now that she has become a leader. She's not working by herself anymore. She actually has her own crew to lead, and now she must prove that she truly is a determined leader. And yeah, by the end of the movie, yeah, my favorite scene in the film does involve a spoiler. So again, I will save that for the spoiler territory. Yeah, and I also love Maui too. I'm not sure if I prefer Maui here than the first one. I mean, admittedly, Maui did get less screen time, but Maui still as awesome as he ever is. And Matangi, yeah, Matangi is not the villain who you think she is, but she's still a great villain. I was not so thrown away by what they actually did to Matangi. And there are people who say that this movie did have a better third act than the first one, and I definitely agree. The third act is even more awesome than the first one. Yeah, and yeah, it's even more action packed and even has an emotional punch to it. Yeah, I did tear up at a certain scene. Not as emotional as the emotional Inside Out 2 scenes, but still like quite emotional. Yeah, and yeah, the end of the movie did leave like a teary smile on my face. So yeah, now let's talk about spoilers here. Yeah, I'm gonna be yeah, there are gonna be spoilers here. So if you really do want to watch the movie so badly and you're excited for it, then don't avoid the spoilers. Like don't watch the rest of the video. Just watch the movie itself first, and I mean legit watch the movie. And so yeah, now yeah, 3, 2, 1, yeah. So the first spoiler that I wanna talk about is let's get right to my favorite scene in the film. Yeah, so my favorite scene in the film. So Moana dives deep into the ocean to put her hand on the islands, because a major story beat in this film is that Moana I'm sorry. They had to bring the mission was actually to bring back the island of what's the island's name? Matang. I don't know. I forgot the name of the island, but yeah, their goal was to bring the island back. Moana touched the island, but then she got struck by lightning, letting her almost die. Yeah, literally, like someone from my audience was like asking, "Is Moana dead?" Yeah, and then Maui comes Maui, who almost got killed off, got to save Moana, and then yeah, just when the audiences were convinced that Moana died. Well, I will say that it's similar to how Billy Batson died in Shazam: Fear of the Gods. Remember that part where yeah, Billy dies, but then he was brought back to life. Yeah, that's what they did to Moana in this one. Yeah, so Maui was like singing a traditional cultural like song. Like I forgot the song honestly, but yeah, in that one scene, they showed the ancestors like actually the spirits of the ancestors like showing up to help recover Moana, and then and guess what, guys? Moana got demigoddess tattoos. That means Moana is now a demigoddess. Like, holy shit, what a decision they made here to make Moana a demigoddess. That is brilliant. Holy shit, I love that. I got praise and Regis for actually going that far by doing that to Moana. I love that, and yeah, that was my favorite scene in this entire film. And I did cry when Maui was um crying about Moana's quote unquote death, and then was singing to get Moana recovered. Yeah, man, I gotta praise Disney for doing that. Oh, and also I gotta talk about the Kakamora too. Yeah, I've heard people say in the reviews that they're just the Kakamoras are just there like to repeat the first film, but no, people, did you not understand the movie? Were you not listening to it? Yeah, I'm convinced that people are just watching the movie and be like, oh, I want to like hate the movie. I'm not gonna bother listening to the story. I'm just going to like say, oh, this movie sucks, and search for reasons why. But here's the thing, guys. So with the Kakamora, they made the Kakamora. Yeah, they actually turned the Kakamora into heroes. Yes, there was a like remember the first film where like the Kakamora was actually evil and they were there as an obstacle course. In this film, we got to learn more about the Kakamora, yeah, and where they actually came from, and there was a twist where the Kakamora they're actually heroes and they're just trying to find their home. Like that's the reason why they try to shoot tranquilizers at anyone who comes to the way because they wanted to ask them for help, but it's hard because they don't communicate. And I really love that reveal, that decision to make them heroes, and even like one of the Kakamora one of them actually came with them alongside their journey. Oh, and also Matangi as well. Yeah, Matangi. Yeah. Now, yeah, we were all hoping that Matangi was going to be a straight up antagonist and not just a wasted one. Yeah, I can see the criticisms that they wasted Matangi because she actually had far less screen time than she is. She's only like the henchwoman of. She only works for Nato, who is the main villain of the film. And Nato's basically like King Runard, believe it or not, where like, he's actually a villain who's there but not physically present. If you know what I mean by that, yeah, like how they did it with King Runard in Frozen 2. There's actually one thing that both Frozen 2 and Moana 2 have in common. And so yeah, it turns out Matangi actually betrays Nato and helps Moana like journey to stop her. Yeah, I mean I don't mind the idea of not making Matangi a full force of a full on villain. I was actually personally okay with it. And then of course there's the mid credit scene where they actually do show Nato. But I'm gonna be revealing the biggest spoiler in this scene. So yeah. Tamato is actually in this movie. Now he doesn't have a significant role like in Moana where he sings Shiny. He sings Shiny, but yeah he was there just as a cameo in the third act. I guess for fan service, but it's still really good to see Tamatoa. I mean I'm not. I mean I do like Tamatoa, but there are others who like him more than I did. But I'm sure, yeah, you all, like, Moana fans out there do love Tamatoa fans, especially Tamatoa being in this, especially the Tamatoa fans. So, yeah, so overall, Moana 2 is an underrated masterpiece. And it is currently the second best animated film of the year, behind Inside Out 2. The second best Disney sequel ever made, behind Frozen 2. And it one of the best movies of the year so far, and yeah, just certainly one of the most underrated. This is without question the most underrated animated film of 2024, and it is I would say I even though I prefer this movie over Joker Folie à Deux as a movie, I would say that Joker Folie à Deux still remains my most underrated film of the year, though Moana 2 would actually be my second most underrated movie of the year, behind Joker Folie à Deux. And it is certainly better than the first Moana. Oh, and also this is in my top 5 favorite Disney Revival Age films. Now, if I were to update my ranking of the Disney Revival Age films, I would I place this under Big Hero 6. Yeah, so we got I actually prefer this over Tangled, honestly. No joke. I like this more than Tangled. But yeah, Frozen 2, Wish, obviously. Frozen 2, Wish, Zootopia, and Big Hero 6. They are what I personally prefer over Moana 2. But yeah. Yeah, so with that said, guys, I'm going to give Moana 2 5 stars out of 5. Yes, I will admit it, guys. I am a Disney shill. And honestly, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud to be a Disney shill. And I will never stop shilling for Disney. So also for my review of Moana 2, yeah, fingers crossed, like what I said earlier, fingers crossed Zootopia 2 will finally get Disney the critical acclaim that they've been getting, and it could be like the first critical. Let's rephrase that. Sorry. Hopefully, Zootopia 2 will be the first critically acclaimed Disney animated film since Encanto, and yeah, regardless of it being a sequel. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Moana 2? If you have seen it, would you agree with me that Moana 2 is an underrated masterpiece, or would you say or are you one of those people who was underwhelmed by this? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos to come. I am like my Lord of the Rings and Hobbit reviews leading up to War of the Rohirrim is my next planned video, but there may be more other videos to come that I'm planning to do. We'll see how things go. So yeah, bye guys.